But him acknowledging that that was coming from a place of like, am I actually even funny? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that you didn't know if you were funny without talking shit about other people's work.
But yeah, like fucking the audience never has any fucking empathy for a content creator complaining about content creation being hard. That's just not, you don't, never fucking talk about
You don't
it
do that.
You don't do it. We all know it's hard. You don't talk about it.
Yep.
It is very telling that he admitted that this was coming from a place of insecurity.
I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. And it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing. I'm not confident in my ability to entertain, and I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success.
It's like that dog at the shelter that's going to be put to sleep the next day. If no one adopts him.
I actually understand exactly what he's saying, though. There was a point in my YouTube career, like, oh, fuck, if I'm not doing, like, reaction videos to SJWs, who am I? Like, I didn't know. And then I started branching out and doing, like, I do, like, a Hell World series where I cover the news and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, shit, like, I can do other things. And I think Ian is kind of feeling like he's boxed in, right? He's, like, the content cop guy, and he wants to try to figure out where to go with his content, and he thinks he's not good enough.
But the problem is Ian's right, though.
He is the content cop guy. That's
well, not just content cop, but like all of his his humor was kind of like being this like snarky asshole jerk. That's what made it funny.
I'm sure he's funny in real life. Like his humor can't just disappear, right? That doesn't happen.
I'm just teasing him,
I know. I'm just thinking out loud. But like he could do something. Like start a podcast with someone. I don't know. I feel like he's got that potential still in him, and he's just beating it out of himself for some reason. I don't know why.
Where's this apology in reference to the creator clash, which was a big L?
I think it was right afterwards.
Okay.
No, it was before.
Or was it before?
So it's beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in pretty close proximity, if I remember correctly.
Well, I wonder how much of it is like so he put together Creator Clash, which I guess is like a creator boxer thing that ended up losing money. He made a video about it recently saying, it's a big letdown because they were going to raise a bunch of money for charity and they didn't. So, I mean, that has got to make you feel like a big failure. And I just wanted to see where this apology was in relationship to that, because that could be coloring some of this situation.
I think you're right. So it says Creator Clash 2 was in April, and I think the apology video was in May. So
that makes sense.
That's how I remember it, yeah.
So he feels like a giant failure from the Creator Clash stuff. So he probably is thinking, what am I going to do next? Which is a terrible place to be, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
That is probably what's going on. So
he also he had reached a level with his content that he's probably not going to get back to. Just most people who reach that level, they aren't there forever, right? You dip down, and
of course, yeah.
You can maintain relevance, but you're not gonna like he had 50 million.
We're not gonna. That's not gonna happen to us, though, right? I mean,
we're never gonna be relevant.
We're never.
What are you talking about?
We'll see when you get a 50 million view video.
We're never gonna peak like that, right?
No.
You guys are still in the beginning. Like you haven't peaked yet. You haven't even begun to peak.
No,
we never
come
will.
on. No.
Dude, a huge problem with what he's saying right here is that content creators are going to understand. Like anybody who's tried to make videos has been to a reasonable degree insecure about their ability to like make good content and stuff. But the fucking audience has no
not
empathy
me.
for this
What are you
shit at
talking
all.
about? Speak for yourself over there.
Yeah, it's just you, Jimmer.
Yeah, it's just me. Well, I mean, Sitch has never entertained the idea of actually being a good content creator. I think you long
exactly. See, you start with your expectations low, and you'll never disappoint yourself.
Of course,
precisely. You have a very effective strategy.
Thank you.
But yeah, like fucking the audience never has any fucking empathy for a content creator complaining about content creation being hard. That's just not. You don't never fucking talk about it.
You don't do that shit.
You don't do it. We all know it's hard. You don't talk about it.
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens to the shelter dog.
Oh yeah, my job's easy.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing that I picked up on too, where it's like, it's really easy to, and I'm guilty of this too, like I don't participate in, you know, I used to like hate tweet stuff. I'd be like, I hate this show, so let me sit here and talk about it. And it's like, you know what? Even if I don't like the content, they did the work and they put it out in the world. Instead of me doing the same thing, I'm sitting here hating on them and shitting on them when I could be putting this energy into making the thing that I'm actually interested and passionate about. And that's what a lot of these creators that build platforms off of just hating on things, it's like, it's because you can't create anything from scratch. You have to really put yourself out there to have an original idea and put the time and energy into crafting it and building an audience. It's really easy to piggyback on somebody else's work and then just say,
yeah, I know. See, this is none of this applies. Yeah, none of this applies to us because we've all made edited videos and original content.
This woman's like, it's easy to piggyback off. Didn't you work for MTV? Like, huge platform, please.
Right.
Oh, of course.
Well, it's not like she.
But I'm a certified professional hater. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, I mean, it's not like she, the content that she put out there, she didn't come up with these ideas. She was just regurgitating CRT or whatever,
of course,
bullshit that she was reading at the time. I'm glad that. Right. You had a camera and you sat in front of it like everyone else, and you filmed yourself, except for me. And you filmed yourself, talking to the camera about whatever dumb shit you believe. Other people are allowed to look at your content, say, I disagree with this. Let me film myself in front of the camera saying I disagree with it. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. This is like a pure cope. I don't think anyone should be able to criticize me, spiral.
Yep. Healthy rationalization why she doesn't deserve any criticism because she's all original content creator.
Like, if to give her some level of charity, okay, which I shouldn't do, but I will. Like, if you want to come out and say, we can criticize things, we can criticize ideas without criticizing people, and we can criticize things without being like jerks about it. Like, that's fine, but she's not saying that. She's saying like you shouldn't even really criticize anything whatsoever because someone put a lot of work into it. Like, how much fucking work? How much insane levels of work went into blowing up King's Landing at the end of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They built a whole fucking city just to blow it up. And it was the dumbest fucking thing on the planet, okay? I don't care how much work they put into the last season of Game of Thrones. None of it went into the writing. And it was dog shit. I'm going to fucking call it out.
Your video is 10 times better than that season of Game of Thrones, Sitch.
That's
true.
That's not saying much.
Easily.
Well, that is also not saying much, but thank you.
Yeah. I might have inadvertently insulted you, Sitch. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, React content is somewhat controversial. Like, if you're going to go the Hassan route and,
or the Jinx.
Or the Jinx route, yeah, I think you've got an argument on React content. I think that doesn't necessarily apply to Sitch and I because Sitch and I have both made edited videos. Like, we aren't. Look, Vosh is
even if we haven't, we fucking take like 8 hours to go through a 40-minute fucking video.
Hassan can't even not say the word for his editor. Okay, he's never made an edited video in his entire life. So, I mean, what Francesca Ramsey is saying here does not apply to us. We've made original content. We've had original ideas. So just because we're doing React content now doesn't mean that's
I don't even
exclusively what we do.
I don't even like adopting the framing. You can react to something and criticize something and that be original ideas that you're bringing up in your criticism.
Sure.
Just because you didn't have the genesis of whatever, like out of the ether, doesn't mean it's not original. Because no one does that.
Okay,
when Francesca comes out, when Francesca comes out with her videos, she didn't those ideas existed, and she's reacting. Francesca is making React videos to
she's
society.
Not reacting.
Okay,
she's reacting, rubber stamping them.
She's reacting to what she thinks is white supremacy in society.
She's acting like the YouTubers that criticized her content, understandably criticized it because it was awful, just kind of stood around calling her slurs.
Yes.
They had rebuttals to her content and talked about her content and put their own opinions out there. And it was kind of, the one way back and forth sort of thing back then. But she's acting like all we did was just mock her. And I'm sure there were channels like that, but most of the time it was just, you're wrong, here's why, I disagree with you, this is why, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
There's a very strong incentive to not talk about the like good responses. You know, if you're a content creator of any size at all, you're going to have some unhinged schizophrenic, you know, trying to dox you or attack you or call you slurs or whatever. And it's very easy to just, you know, bring that up and paint yourself a victim.
Yeah.
And,
True.
Like, well, this sucks. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. You
Right.
literally have not made anything. And so again, it's truly the bare minimum, but him acknowledging that that was coming from a place of like, am I actually even funny? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that you didn't know if you were funny without talking shit about other people's work.
I believe that. I 190% believe that. And I think that's actually, when I peel it back, that's actually what was a bigger problem for me when I realized it. Because I'm like, me recognizing that in the same way that you recognize that both of us were inclined to give empathy, and both of us were like, you know, I understand the impulse to do this. I understand the impulse to shit on these things. I understand that. But you know what makes you feel, I think, two things. One, as Black people, we're always being asked of and expected and held in the place to always have to be compassionate and empathetic to people who are mistreating us. One, but two, it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, of course.
Sitch, bring up the video of Olay, the unhinged rant. We need it right now. We need the unhinged Olay rant.
You remember she's on
how dare she say this?
I know.
What did she just say, Sitch? What was the content of what she just said?
She said that, you know, we all need to just take a moment and not be haters.
No, she said
no.
Black
as
people,
a Black woman,
she
we're
said
expected
Black
to not be
people
haters,
are
just-
expected to behave, and therefore they do. Bring up the unhinged Olay rant. Bring
she's
it up.
Probably referencing like the 1930s, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I don't. Okay.
I mean,
That's
in
not-
the 1930s, she's right, but
That's not how it came off here. I thought we were talking about the YouTube environment. That's not how it came off here, Doomer. Don't give her an out.
It's because we as creators can appreciate what, okay, someone else has created and what goes into that, and that makes you have a different kind of respect for that. So it's two levels. We respect it. On a human level, we empathize because we're humans, and then we empathize as creators. And on no level did he empathize. On none of those levels did he empathize with any of these people, so much so that even in this apology, none of them get singled. Where was it, Jinx? Where was where were these people? Where was any Jinx? That was the beginning of the end for Jinx's platform, and he's no longer on YouTube. And then I thought about that.
good base. Get rid of him. Get him out.
How dare you? You
Get him
bigot.
out.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.